Hello, my name is Ruth, and I have a few notes that I'd like to share with you. I was born in Shanghai, China, to an American businessman. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, they proceeded to occupy Shanghai. When I was 12 and a half years old, my mother had to go to the neighbor corner with my brother and a small suitcase for me. I was put on an open truck and driven to a prison camp in Chapay. I was separated from my younger brother, sister, and mother. The prison camp, or concentration camp, was a broken down, abandoned university. My mother was Russian and not interned, along with my younger brother and sister. The Japanese occupied our home. They gave my mother the laundry room. She slept on camp cots, my brother on the floor. We were imprisoned close to 3 years. I could go on at great length as to how we were treated and what our food was like after standing in line for several hours. I lost my freedom then and strongly feel it is happening again. After we were liberated by the American Air Force B-29s, I went to work in the PX, 3198 Signal Corps. We saved our money. It was in 1947 when we sailed into San Francisco Bay. What a sight, what a beautiful, beautiful sight, the Golden Gate Bridge. I felt so incredibly joyful, with so much joy and so much excitement. We had about $900 that we had saved. My father stayed behind in China. My dear mother had such incredible strength, hardly speaking any English, with 4 kids. And no one knew us, and we knew no one in the U.S. We had no handouts, there were no food stamps, no entitlements. My education ended when I was 12. We went to work. But I did get a job as a file clerk, and we put the 2 younger children to school. We had dignity and pride in ourselves, and we would never ask for a handout. I am a mother of 4 and an extremely proud grandmother of 10. Between the 3 of us, my brother, sister, and myself, we have raised 14 children. I thank God every day for the honor of living in this great America. Unfortunately, I see our country going downhill. Obama, you've had your training. You graduated with an F. Now is the time for you to move forward and let Mitt Romney do what you have failed to do. He has the background and, most important, the experience to accomplish what you have failed to do in 4 years. It infuriates me when I hear our president apologizing around the world for America. No country has done as much as America has done for the world. Perhaps Obama needs to skip 1 day of golf and read up on World War II and who liberated me. It saddens me to think of what is in store for my children if Obama is elected. I pray for my country daily.
Hi, my name is Ana Hernandez and I was born in La Habana, Cuba. I was born a free person, but before I was 12, I was no longer free because my country fell in the hands of communism, a powerful leftist totalitarian government. Communism took over in January 1959 and is still choking Cuba 53 years later. The problem is that most people don't know the value of freedom until they lose it. And the same could happen right here. Before the anti-capitalistic government took over my country, the Cuban peso had the same value of the US dollar, and we could use either currency when going shopping. Cuba was the most developed Spanish-speaking country in the Western Hemisphere before Castro took over our nation and started dismantling our constitution. Now, Cuba is living proof of how communism destroys a nation. There's no private property. Your business is no longer yours. Your house is no longer yours. The government takes over the economy and destroys the middle class. There will only be two classes, the government or the very rich, and the people or the very poor. When I told the Cuban authorities that I wanted to emigrate to the USA, immediately Castro forced me to do hard labor at a concentration camp in Cuba. Daily, our human rights were violated, and at night, they used communist men to get inside our tents and rape or cut us with knives, with the purpose of making us quit the concentration camp and stay in Cuba. You see, we were bad propaganda for communism. They didn't want the world to know that hundreds of thousands of Cubans were leaving the country to pursue their freedom. When I first heard Obama speak on television in 2008, all the red flags went up, and I thought, oh no, this man sounds just like Castro. He's arrogant. He doesn't talk about American greatness. He's not proud of the USA. There's something wrong with him. Obama had the same rhetoric and appealing personality than Castro had. Not only that, he also started with the class warfare. He even went on a world tour apologizing for the mistakes, quote unquote, the USA had made, and he bowed down to our enemies. He was another socialist. Now, 4 years later, after his leftist administration had validated all my fears of 2008, after ramming the government takeover of our medical system, and after being an enemy to Israel, he still wants 4 more years to finish dismantling the Constitution of the USA and complete the eradication of our capitalistic society. I don't want to see that happening in the USA, and I don't want to lose my freedom again. Are we going to drop on the ground and let Obama walk all over us? Or are we going to do all we can do legally to stop him from making the United States, which is the greatest country on the face of the earth, another bastion for communism? The choice is in front of us. What are we going to do? This may be our last free election. Hola, me llamo Ana Hernández y nací en La Habana, Cuba. Nací en un país libre, pero antes de cumplir los 12 años, Cuba cayó en las garras del comunismo y la libertad se acabó para siempre. Eso fue hace 53 años y en el día de hoy mi país todavía es esclavo del gobierno comunista, porque a la vez que los socialistas toman el poder, es muy difícil derrocarlos. El problema es que la mayoría de la gente no sabe el valor de la libertad hasta que la pierde. Y lo que pasó en Cuba puede pasar aquí también. Antes que el gobierno anticapitalista tomara el poder en Cuba, el peso cubano tenía el mismo valor que el dólar y podíamos usar cualquiera de las dos monedas cuando íbamos de compra. Éramos el país más avanzado de habla hispana en el hemisferio oriental antes que Castro tomara posesión de la isla y comenzara a invalidar nuestra constitución. En el día de hoy, Cuba es un claro y triste ejemplo del daño que el comunismo le puede hacer a una nación. Se acaba la propiedad privada. Tu negocio deja de ser tuyo para pertenecerle al gobierno. Tu casa deja de ser tuya, porque el gobierno socialista toma control total de la economía y destruye a la clase media. De ese momento en adelante, solo existirán dos clases. Los comunistas, que son los ricos, y el pueblo, que son los extremadamente pobres. Enseguida que las autoridades comunistas se enteraron de que yo quería salir de Cuba, me enviaron a trabajar obligatoriamente en un campo de concentración para que me ganara el derecho de salir del país. Día tras día, nuestros derechos humanos eran violados y por las noches, hombres comunistas caminaban alrededor de nuestro albergue de paredes de saco y entraban para violar a las mujeres o para acuchillarnos. Y eso lo hacían para que renunciáramos a salir de Cuba. Como pueden ver, nosotros les estábamos haciendo mala propaganda al comunismo y ellos no podían permitir que el mundo supiera que cientos de miles de cubanos estaban saliendo de la isla para encontrar la libertad. La primera vez que oí a Obama hablar en 2008, me di cuenta inmediatamente de que él hablaba igual que Castro. Era tan arrogante como él y no hablaba de lo bueno que eran los Estados Unidos. Pude notar que no estaba orgulloso de este país y me dije, ojalá que no sea elegido presidente. Al igual que Castro, Obama tenía una personalidad atractiva, usaba la misma retórica y no solo eso, también comenzó a crear enemistad entre las clases sociales. Desde el principio se dedicó a hacer campaña por todo el mundo, hablando mal de los Estados Unidos y pidiendo disculpas por el daño que este país les había hecho en el pasado. Se agachó delante de nuestros enemigos y habló con Castro, Chávez, el anterior presidente de Corea comunista, y llegué a la conclusión de que Obama era otro socialista. En la actualidad, después de pasar 4 años de su gobierno izquierdista, mis temores se han convertido en realidad. Obama controla el sistema médico de este país, ha acabado con nuestra economía y también se ha convertido en enemigo de Israel. Pero él quiere ser presidente 4 años más para terminar de invalidar la Constitución de los Estados Unidos y erradicar totalmente nuestra sociedad capitalista. Yo no quiero que eso suceda en los Estados Unidos y tampoco quiero perder mi libertad otra vez. ¿Nos vamos a tirar en el piso para dejar que Obama nos pase por arriba o vamos a hacer todo lo que podamos legalmente para no permitir que Obama convierta a los Estados Unidos en otra víctima del comunismo? La pregunta está enfrente de nosotros. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Puede que esta sea nuestra última elección libre.